You've heard the name, you've seen the logo, but do you know the story behind one of the most iconic streetwear brands of our time? Pyrex Vision, the brand that redefined luxury streetwear and launched the career of visionary designer Virgil Abloh. But before Off-White and Louis Vuitton, there was a young kid from Chicago with a dream. Armed with nothing more than a screen printing machine and a stack of Ralph Lauren flannels, Virgil cooked up a fashion revolution in his basement.
Bruh.
This is the rise and fall of Pyrex Vision. In the 2006 song Mr. Me Too by The Clips, Pusha T rapped the line, "Pyrex stirs turn into cavalry furs," referencing the infamous Pyrex jars that drug dealers used to cook up crack cocaine. This lyric would later inspire the name of Virgil's first fashion brand. Launched in 2012, Pyrex Vision was a bold new statement into the streetwear scene, blending influences from street culture, hip-hop, and high fashion. The brand quickly gained notoriety for its screen printing graphics on Champion blanks and Ralph Lauren flannels. Purchased for $40 and resold for $550 with its Pyrex 23 logo.
No! 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 No!
While controversial, this move established Virgil as a visionary who understood the power of hype, scarcity, and brand narrative.
Let's remember that streetwear, in as many versions of definitions that there are, to me, at the essence, it's like covetable product. It's limited. So the reason why, if you got to get to it first, is the difference between product in our world versus mass consumer product. Because it's that t-shirt or those pair of sneakers, if you go next week, they would still be there. But I think once streetwear started co-defining, Nike woven or something like that.
Prior to Pyrex Vision's launch in 2012, the streetwear industry was in the midst of a resurgence. Brands like Supreme, Stussy, Bait were gaining popularity among youth subcultures and hip-hop tastemakers. There was a growing appetite for bold graphics, limited edition drops, and collaborations that blended streetwear with high fashion. However, the scene was still relatively niche compared to mainstream fashion. Virgil saw an opportunity to disrupt the industry by merging the codes of luxury and streetwear in a way that hadn't been done before. He had to navigate a competitive landscape that included established players, as well as emerging brands like Hood by Air, Pigalle, and Kith. But Virgil had a unique perspective shaped by his background in architecture, his immersion in the Chicago creative scene, and his work with Kanye West. With Pyrex Vision, he set out to create a new visual language that would challenge conventions and resonate with a generation hungry for something different. Virgil, the visionary founder, emerged from a diverse background that shaped his unique perspective of fashion and culture. Born in Rockford, Illinois, to Ghanaian immigrant parents, he grew up immersed in a world of creativity and hard work. His mother, a seamstress, taught him the fundamentals of sewing while his father managed a paint company. These early influences would later manifest his unconventional approach to design and his ability to bridge the gap between streetwear and luxury fashion.
Yeah, that's dope.
Before launching Pyrex Vision in 2012, his journey was marked by a series of pivotal experiences and collaborations. He earned a degree in civil engineering from the University of Wisconsin-Madison in 2002 and later completed a master's degree in architecture at the Illinois Institute of Technology in 2006. It was during his time his interest in fashion was ignited, sparked by the works of architects like Rem Koolhaas and the iconic SR Crown Hall designed by Ludwig Miles van der Rohe, making it the beginning of a fruitful creative partnership. He became West's creative director, working on album covers, concert merchandise, and stage designs. This experience exposed Abloh to the world of music and entertainment, allowing him to develop a keen understanding of youth culture and the power of storytelling through design. Inspirations for creating Pyrex Vision were deeply rooted in Virgil's personal experiences and the cultural zeitgeist of the time. The brand's name itself was a nod to the Pyrex jars, which I referred to earlier, used by drug dealers to cook crack cocaine as a reference in Pusha T's lyrics. Virgil sought to create a brand that would resonate with the youth, drawing from the aesthetics of street culture, hip-hop, and his own upbringing in Chicago. Prior to Pyrex Vision though, he had already established a strong personal brand and cultivated connections in the fashion and music industry. In 2009, he co-founded 𝐼SVP Gallery, a conceptual retail space in Chicago alongside Don C, a member of Kanye West's inner circle. The store curated a blend of streetwear and high fashion, reflecting his unique taste and vision. Virgil also ran an unconventional blog called The Brilliance with fellow Chicago-based designers Benjamin Edgar and Chuck Anderson. The blog served as a platform to share his thoughts on design, music, and culture, showcasing his multidisciplinary approach in setting the stage for his future endeavors.
So you have your brand DNA, and it's like you sort of open your front door and like, what next? How to make that DNA apparent to people, apparent to stores, apparent to tastemakers. I think the key is actually in your DNA of the brand. It's not, it's not outward facing. It's like if your brand is about a rock and roll type grunge aesthetic, then you're dealing with something that's in your head and then you're trying to like make it resonate. So there's an establishment. There's going to be a collective thumbs up or thumbs down. That's how you're going to win no matter what. It can be bad or good, but some sort of establishment, whether it's buyer, whether it's like a blog that's going to post your thing, they have to see it, look at some lookbook photos, see the name, in 2 seconds decide, hey, is this cool or not.
In 2010, Virgil launched the Pyrex Vision Tumblr page, which functioned as a digital mood board of ideals and musings. The page highlighted streetwear pieces, runway fashions, and a diverse array of cultural references, from the Great Sphinx to rising Chicago artists. This digital space allowed to experiment with his aesthetic and engage with the growing community of followers who were drawn to his unique perspective. Speaking of community, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our videos packed with so much value, by the way. To get back, Pyrex Vision Tumblr page was instrumental in shaping the brand's identity and building anticipation for its launch. Virgil curated a visual narrative that blended high and low culture, challenging traditional notions of luxury and authenticity. Through his platform, he was able to test ideals, gauge audiences' reactions, and refine his creative direction before officially launching Pyrex Vision in 2012. Virgil's launch strategy for Pyrex Vision was unconventional yet highly effective. Rather than following traditional fashion industry norms, he leveraged his connections in the music industry and his own creative network to generate buzz around the brand. He began by releasing a series of limited edition screen printed t-shirts and hoodies, featuring the now iconic Pyrex 23 logo. These pieces were sold exclusively at 𝐼SVP Gallery store in Chicago, creating a sense of scarcity and exclusivity that would become a hallmark of the brand. He also utilized social media platforms, particularly Instagram and Tumblr, to showcase Pyrex Vision's aesthetic and build anticipations for upcoming releases. He curated a distinct visual language that blended high fashion references with streetwear sensibilities, often displaying images of runway models or gritty urban landscape. This approach resonated with a young, digital-savvy audience that was hungry for something new and authentic in the fashion world. The initial reaction to Pyrex Vision was polarizing, with some praising his innovative approach and others criticizing the brand's high price points and use of repurposed materials. Many in the fashion establishment were skeptical of Virgil's credentials, dismissing him as a mere streetwear designer.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
However, his unique perspective and ability to tap into youth culture quickly earned him a dedicated following amongst fashion enthusiasts and industry insiders alike. Pyrex Vision's debut collection titled Youth Always Wins was released in 2013 and featured a range of screen printed t-shirts, hoodies, and flannels. The collection lookbook, shot by photographer Jake Davis, showcases Virgil's friends and collaborators wearing the pieces in various urban settings, further emphasizing the brand's connection to street culture. The lookbook's raw, unfiltered aesthetic was a departure from the polished imagery typically associated with luxury fashion brands, and it helped to establish Pyrex Vision as a disruptive force in the industry. One of the key factors in Pyrex Vision's success ability to leverage his relationships with influential figures in the music industry. As Kanye West's creative director, Virgil had an access to a network of artists and tastemakers who helped them to amplify the brand's message. Rappers like 𝐼𝐸 Rocky, Kendrick Lamar, and Pusha T were early supporters of Pyrex Vision, often wearing the brand's pieces in music videos and live performances. I also collaborated with a range of other brands and creatives during Pyrex Vision's run, which is crazy because it only lasted like a year, but within that same year, he teamed up with a big streetwear brand at the time, Virgil, on a capsule collection that featured co-branded t-shirts and accessories. The collaboration helped to further cement Pyrex Vision's status as a rising force in the streetwear world, and it demonstrated Virgil's ability to bridge the gap between different creative communities. Again, Pyrex Vision's branding strategy revolved around the use of bold graphics, logos, and messaging that resonated with youth culture. The brand's iconic Pyrex 23 logo, which was screen printed on the back of repurposed garments, became a symbol of rebellion and authenticity in the streetwear scene. Virgil's background in graphic design and his keen understanding of cultural references allowed him to create a visual language that spoke directly to his target audience. One of the most controversial and talked about aspects of Pyrex Vision repurposed Ralph Lauren flannel shirts. He purchased these shirts on clearance for around $40 each and screen printed Pyrex 23 on the back of it, subsequently marking them up by a staggering 700% to a retail price, which would average to about $550. This process was significant because it challenged traditional notions of luxury and value, forcing consumers to question what they were paying for, the materials or the brand's vision.
I would say like first degree streetwear is like, it's a step away from like Canal Street. It's like ironic saying, put it on a t-shirt. It's not bad or good, you know, I've done it all, but that's how it just grows along. And I think if you look at our whole demographic, the current state of streetwear, it's already on like 2.5, you know, and so there's businesses that can sustain themselves without even being streetwear. But so for phase 2, it's sort of like you're not looking for the quick reaction. You're sort of like, this is only made for like a core group of people.
Your friends.
Friends, your street, you know, Lower East Side, it could be, and it's like, you know it's gonna resonate here, and then it's like golden. And then what happens is people who are outside the circle start seeing people with the circle and are like, oh, and as the further you get up, the less the way it's like dependent on a brand logo or like identifier. I'd say phase 3, it's more like hinged upon who is doing it. If you say so-and-so creative director who left Nike and so-and-so from Japan just started this thing, further away you get, it's like not the brand. It's more like who, what, when, where, why.
And I think that was pretty dope, to be honest with you. His marketing tactics were unconventional and highly effective. He leveraged his connections on the music industry and his own creative network to generate buzz around the brand, often gifting pieces to influential figures in hip-hop and fashion. He utilized social media platforms to showcase Pyrex Vision's aesthetic and built anticipation for upcoming releases. By curating a distinct visual narrative that blended high and low culture, Virgil created a sense of exclusivity and desirability around the brand. Pyrex Vision had a profound impact on streetwear and youth culture in America. The brand's unapologetic approach to design and its willingness to challenge industry norms resonated with a generation of young consumers who were looking for something authentic and just disruptive. And its ability to tap into that context and create a brand that felt both aspirational and attainable helped to redefine the relationships between streetwear and luxury fashion. Despite its success of stealing Ralph Lauren's flannels or Champion's merch, it also faced controversies and criticisms. The brand's pricing strategy was a major point of contention, with many consumers and industry insiders questioning the value proposition of paying hundreds of dollars for repurposed garments. Some people accuse them of simply profiting off another brand's design.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
However, Virgil remained unapologetic, arguing that his approach was a commentary on the nature of value and authenticity in fashion.
What up, though?
In 2013, at the height of buzz of Pyrex Vision popularity, Virgil made the bold decision to shut down the brand and launched a new venture called Off-White. This move surprised many in the fashion industry, as Pyrex Vision had gained a cult following and was seen as a trailblazer in the streetwear scene. One potential reason for Virgil's decision was the commercialization of Pyrex Vision. As the brand grew in popularity, it began to attract attention from mainstream retailers and consumers, which was God's original vision for the brand as a niche, underground label. Additionally, Virgil may have felt that Pyrex Vision had run its course and that he needed a new creative outlet to express his evolving ideals about fashion and culture. Another factor that likely influenced his decision was a need for a new direction. While Pyrex Vision had been successful in blending streetwear and luxury, he wanted to take the concept even further with Off-White. He envisioned a brand that would not only merge these two worlds, but also challenge the very definitions of high fashion and streetwear. Despite its short-lived experiences, Pyrex Vision left a lasting impact on the streetwear and fashion industries. Pyrex Vision also helped to legitimize streetwear as a serious player in the fashion world, which I think is key because there's a lot of people that's up right now.
Who put the offer on the table?
Oh, she did. And the terms were so attractive, I jumped on her.
What are you guys talking about?
Business, Ash, here, have some breakfast.
By collaborating with established brands like Champion and Ralph Lauren, Virgil showed that streetwear could be elevated to the level of high fashion. Alright? This opened up a door for other streetwear designers to partner with luxury labels and created a new market for premium streetwear. Pyrex Vision launched Virgil Abloh's career as a fashion designer and influencer. The brand's success demonstrated Abloh's ability to tap into youth culture, which caught the attention of major players in the fashion industry. This ultimately led to his appointment as the artistic directors of Louis Vuitton's menswear's division in 2018, a historic moment that solidified his status as a fashion icon. As Virgil himself said, Pyrex was the first step in a long journey that led me to where I am today. One of the most significant lessons young entrepreneurs can learn from the journey with Pyrex Vision is the importance of leveraging one's personal brand to enhance their business. His established reputation in the fashion and music industries through his work with RSVP Gallery, the brand's blog, and his association with Kanye West played a crucial role in the success of Pyrex Vision. By capitalizing on his existing network and influence, Virgil was able to generate buzz and credibility for his new venture, attracting attention from both consumers and industry insiders alike. The brand's success can also be attributed to Virgil's understanding of the power of exclusivity and scarcity creating demand. By producing limited quantities of each item and orchestrating strategic product drop, Abloh created a sense of urgency and desirability around his brand. This approach not only drove sales, but also contributed to the brand's cult-like following, as customers felt they were part of an exclusive community by owning a piece of Pyrex Vision. Another key takeaway from Virgil's Pyrex Vision is the importance of aligning one's brand with their personal passion for organic growth. Virgil's love for streetwear, hip-hop culture, and the Chicago roots were evident in every aspect of Pyrex Vision, from the designs to the marketing strategy. By staying true to his interests and experiences, Abloh created a brand that resonated with his target audience on a deeper level, fostering a genuine connection that translated into a loyal customer and organic growth. To all my young, inspiring entrepreneurs and designers that's out there, by applying these principles to your own ventures, you guys and gals can increase your chances of success in today's competitive business landscape. The brand's do-it-yourself ethos and irrelevant attitude towards luxury set the stage for a new era of streetwear, one that blurred the lines between high and low culture. He created a new paradigm for what streetwear could be. Virgil's legacy, both through Pyrex Vision and his subsequent endeavors, is one of the boundless creativity and fearless innovations. His ability to transcend traditional boundaries and create spaces for underrepresented voices has left a lasting mark on the fashion world. His journey from a young dreamer in Chicago to a global fashion icon serves as an inspiration to aspiring creatives everywhere. As we reflect on the brief but impactful history of Pyrex Vision, it becomes clear that the brand's significance extends beyond its clothing. This man's legacy, rooted in the audacity and innovation of Pyrex Vision, will continue to inspire and influence generations of designers and dreamers to come. R.I.P. Virgil. If you enjoyed this video, You should watch this video next. You'll be surprised about his strategy. This is North Studios. Until next time, I'm out of here.